It's the first episode since winning our third Super Bowl in a row. And somebody suggested that I start the off-season episode in the current season to kind of show the difference between the teams. And that's exactly what I'm going to do now. The team currently stands at 95 offense, 91 defense, 93 overall. Loving this, by the way. Super happy with the team and how it is developing or has developed. I will now be forwarding into each week, and I will just be kind of going through the individual weeks in the off season. And that's going to be the off-season episode concluding after the draft. And then the preseason episode will be the 4 preseason weeks, the bye week, the roster cuts, the building, as well as training camp. You know the drill. The idea is to prepare the team for a possible 6th season of this franchise series. I don't know yet if I'm going to do that, because we basically achieved everything. We won Super Bowls, we ran it back, so what else is there to do, right? Perfect season is not something that I'm really willing to go for, because it kind of sucks the fun out. But yeah, whatever. We're going to start now. I'm going to head into next week, which is going to be staff week. Alright, it's staff week, and we're not only going to be talking about the staff, of course, but we're also going to be looking at the team, at retirements, all that are important pieces of the puzzle as we progress through off-season. First of all, the season recap. No surprise, 3-time Super Bowl champion Tennessee frickin' Titans. Super Bowl MVP was Will Levis. Now that is something that I love to read. The yearly awards, as always, Pat Mahomes and Doug Peterson. That doesn't make any sense whatsoever, but okay. Offensive player, Patrick Mahomes. Defensive player, Micah Parsons. And we already checked out the offensive rookies and defensive rookies, so there's no surprises to be had there. We're going to be taking a look at retirements now, because that's always exciting. Let's take a look here. Amari Cooper retires for the Vikings after 13 years. 2 retirements here for the Titans, Dalton Risner and Geno Smith. Cooper Kupp retires after 11 years. Jack Conklin retires. Joel Bitonio, Taylor Moton retire. Taylor Decker retires. DJ Reader, big names. Christian McCaffrey after 11 years. Brandon Scherf, Kenny Moore II. Chris Jones, Stephon Diggs, Hunter Henry, Brandon Aubrey, the kicker. DeMarcus Lawrence after 14 years. Trent Brown, Matthew Judon, Isaac Seumalo, Quandre Diggs, CJ Ham, Dion Dawkins. So many big names here. Wow. Austin Eckler, Grover Stewart, Tyler Lockett. Jesus, man. Calvin Ridley, Matt Milano, Jimmy G retiring, Sam Mustipher, Mitch Morris, Shaquille Barrett, Malik Reed, Mike Edwards, Jadeveon Clowney. Wow. Taylor Heineke, right? Zay Jones. Jake Matthews, PJ Walker, Teddy Bridgewater, Brandon Cooks, Carson Wentz, man, Marcus May, really big names. And defensive coordinator Adam Rodgers also retires for the Eagles. All right, well, so no surprise. Some of those we will have to speak to after this week in the player re-sign period. But apart from that, I'm not expecting any crazy happenings. In terms of the retirements, George Temple taking the AFC offensive title, 5 receptions, 51 receiving yards, 10.2 on average, 1 touchdown. Well, Caleb Farley, 1 interception. It's actually not too great looking. I think Brian Branch fully deserves this one. And Jahmyr Gibbs was actually, well, I don't really know. It was a team dominated by defenses. I would have expected more on the defensive side of things, but Brian Branch summarizing this perfectly. 8 tackles, 2 interceptions. Crazy good performance in that Super Bowl. Really hats off to him right there. All right, in terms of staff moves, let's just check that out. I hope that we don't see any dudes leaving us again. There's a lot of firings here. Sometimes these dudes just leave, and that is something that I really hate, because I keep trading them, and then they just kind of say, yeah, bye-bye, see you next time, or not. All right, for now, we're done with this week. Let's continue to next week. Player renegotiation week. Let's talk about the mock draft. Players ready to negotiate. And we have to fill the staff again. Now, that is awesome. I don't know why they keep leaving, man. It's not like I'm hiring 50-year-old dudes, but I have to do that each and every season. That has to be a bug, right? That is super silly. Why do they always do that? Is there anybody in here that I had before? Was it Nick Gregory? I can't fucking remember, man. Oh, shit. Jeremy Green, Patterson, Jenkins, Hampton, Weaver. I can't remember who that was. I'm gonna go crazy. I think it was Nick Gregory, but I could also be completely mistaken. I have no clue. I have no clue. Or do I have to renegotiate with them as well? I can't remember. I don't know what's going on here, but they just keep leaving. Mike VRABEL. Well, for frick's sake, let's just bring him in here, because he looks to be pretty developed already. Interestingly enough, all these dudes are available on their head coaches. But can I hire them as a... Alright, he's a defensive coordinator. Alright, let's just fire Nick Gregory for a moment. Are there any real life dudes in there? No. Alright, nobody. That would be fun, right? Just bring in, I don't know, Mike McDaniels as my offensive coordinator. Mike VRABEL as my defensive coordinator is probably pretty funny as well. I got 370 points now. Luckily, I've got the head coach fully staffed and fully stacked, so that is incredibly important, especially in this scenario right now. But Nick Gregory, Mike VRABEL, alright, you're going to do just fine. It's going to be fun seeing Mike VRABEL on the sidelines again, returning after quite a while. Not going to be taking a look at the mock draft, not interested right now, but players ready to negotiate. Who is up for negotiation? Let's take a look at this. Alright, we've got Sonny Styles. I do really think that we're going to just accept this option here. Started player re-sign interest is very high, so why not? Let's just accept this one. Yes, boom, here we go. Alright, that's done. Bryce Ramsey's not really interested. Russ Randolph, not really interested. Tyrell Bullitt, not really interested. James Choice, a little bit. Stephen Dalton, Harold Landry. All right, Harold Landry, no. I'm not going to be re-signing him. He can just leave. Stephen Dalton, all right, he's a right edge player, 2371. Let's see, maybe we can pick up a better one. Tyrell Bullitt, I feel like, was pretty good. Russ Randolph, I would like to keep him around though, right? Plus, they're not looking too expensive. Bryce Ramsey, really on the fence about this one here. It really all comes down to what we do with Tyjae Spears. But Russ Randolph, I feel like he's another one of those really good backup players. Tyrell Bullitt probably deserves the spot more. He's a scheme fit. He's younger. He's only 2 points behind, so we're going to give him a super nice deal, player friendly, low risk. Yeah, let's just go for this. A 7-year deal. Why ever not? Salary 2 mil and 1 mil bonus. Here we go. Happy to sign. All right, good. So this one's done. Russ Randolph, gonna think about this one. Bryce Ramsey, 2482. Any other player, I would say, hell yeah, man. But look at this. I've got Chris McAdams. I've got JD Bradley. I've got Josh Whyle who can fill in. And I also still have Tyjae Spears, currently injured, I know. But yeah, I'm not sure. I'm really not sure what to do about this one here. I'm not going to give him a deal. We might sign him out of free agency. All right, let's approach it from that direction. All right, Russ Randolph, same thing. I'm going to do the same thing. Maybe I'll bring him back. Maybe I won't. James Choice, I think that I will like to bring him back. 73 rated. Let's just see. Maybe in the free agents period. Stephen Dalton, same thing. And Harold Landry. These are players that are pretty young. I brought them in from the practice squad, or they're rookies. But yeah, 2371. Not really what I was hoping here. If you were at 75, I would definitely go for him. But not like this. I'm gonna let everybody go. We might bring him back later on. All right, we might bring him back in the free agency period. Which is going to happen next week. But for now, I think we're good. I'm going to be upgrading players, by the way, off camera. Because in free agency 1, I always like to take stock of the team as it stands. Free agency week 1. Let's kick things off here. Just taking a quick look at the retirements. Is there anybody that retired on top of everybody? Arik Armstead did. All right. We did have him on the team really short. So thanks, Arik, for the help. Before we do anything else, let's just dive into a quick team analysis situation here. Just want to take a look at the team, and Jesus Christ, Will Levis went up to a superstar dev trade? I mean, it makes sense, doesn't it? Because he freaking won 2 Super Bowls, man. 3 Super Bowls, all in all. And he just had 2 fantastic seasons. So well done, my man. Going up to superstar, I really like that. Apart from that, the offensive line, all right? I've got Deshaun Price here, who is a starter trade player. I don't care. He's going to be my starter here. Patrick Paul, fantastic backup. I've got Jack Linsley here on the left guard. Again, we can backfill with any of these dudes here. I don't see any problems. Skoronski, Mayan, fantastic. Barton and Muti or Bullet, fantastic. I've got Presley over here, who's currently just slotting in for the injured Mims. And then we've got a few low-rated players, somebody like Acosta or like Gray, something like this. The tight ends are looking super solid. I'm not going to change a thing there. I love that as it is. Also the fullback, I really like the flexibility of having a hidden tight end basically stepping in as a fullback. In terms of the wide receivers, also looking pretty good here. Very happy with what we have. I don't see the need to really change anything too much. We've got some players that might be regressing at some point in time, but for the moment I'm still extremely happy with this setup. The running back room, this is a little bit of a head scratcher, maybe a little bit more. Tyjae Spears is out for 2 more weeks, so we might think about a trade when draft day comes around. I could really see myself just starting out with JD Bradley here, Chris McAdams, JD Bradley, and Griffin, for instance. Maybe let's bring back the other dude that we just cut. I don't even remember the name. I think it was Ramsey. But yeah, you know, we can always get good running backs. There's a plethora of them in Madden currently. So, all right, free agency. I don't think that we really need somebody here. If somebody does pop up, then all right, we're gonna take him. But not for the time being. On defense, is there anybody that we... All right, let me just see here. Knox and Styles went up to start of trade. No, Styles was a start of trade, but Knox went up. That is nice. Burris was revealed as a start of trade. He's now an 81 rated player, which is actually very nice. I love the combination. He's young. He's got a good dev trait, and yeah, I think now it will be time to move on from Aziz Al-Shaair at some point in time. We'll just have to figure out when that time is. Looking over here, Justin Patton, we've got Jill Peoples, 2 young players. Aziz Al-Shaair can also slot in on the linebacker position. We've got Glenn Sprinkle over here. I think we're missing an outside linebacker backup player here. So, for instance, we could use Aziz Al-Shaair over here as a backup player, or you move Jill Peoples over to this position. I don't know. Let's figure something out here. The shuffling hasn't yet concluded, to put it that way. Sonny Styles and Taylor Colon are a fantastic combination over here. Not going to change a thing there. Looking at the corners, Roger McCreary is still a superstar. He picked that up during the season. Fantastic stuff. We've got Fulton. We've got Joseph down here. We've got Fletcher and Farley. I do feel like I might be looking at Joseph. He might be one that needs to go. 84 rated. I think bringing fresh players in from the draft could be a good idea, just to keep that rotation going on. Madisa Isaac, I love him right there. And there's also we also need a new player here. We might move Jill Peoples down here behind him. That could also be an option. Over here on the left edge, we are also looking at an injury for James Houston. He'll be either a left edge or a right edge. So one of the edges needs a backup player. D-tackle is exceptionally well sorted, so I don't think this is something that we need to look at. Special teams, fantastic stuff. Still Evan McPherson here with that superstar dev trade. That is just absolute brilliance. All right, I don't care about anything on those positions. So in terms of age, that's the second part. I'm just going to quickly go through this. Part of this is analysis time, so we have to do that. We've got a Will Levis with a superstar dev trait here. Behind him, we've got Mike Kramer, so I like that combination. Really, really good. Right, Mike Kramer, did he get a... yeah, he's a star dev trait quarterback. Great job. We'll just keep developing him. I can see him growing as a successor to Will Levis. As soon as he steps down, we'll have him ready. That's going to be great. Running backs, yeah, really thinking about Tyjae Spears' situation here. Really thinking about this one. I could see myself going with these two as my starters. They were extremely efficient, especially Bradley. Really, really impressed me. I don't know what it was about him, but his strength rating is just that much higher. It's 82, man. That's the weakness Tyjae Spears has. I was looking for a weakness. I was like, dude can do everything. But it's the strength, and that's maybe something that we might have to address here. Fullback, Josh Whyle, yeah, that works. Never mind. Wide receivers, we've got 28 and 28. Those are my starters here, but I have Steven Moreno, I have Caleb Palmer, younger. Kyle Phillips, of course, with a 29, more or less on the line here. But yeah, I don't feel too bad about him just sticking around. And Antwane Wells Jr., 2681. We might let go of him and bring in a real rookie. So that is something that I could see as sort of a cleanup deal here. The tight ends 28.99, gonna work with that. George Temple and Noah Clancy, really fancy this combination. I wouldn't change a thing here. On left tackle, we've got a young player that's the starter and a solid backup player that can really help out well. Left guard, basically two young players. That's just really nice. On center, Peter Skoronski is good. Dylan McMahon is fantastic. So why change a thing? They're not old at all, so we'll keep that. Right guard, Graham Barton, 26.96, fantastic. Netane Muti, this is a little bit of a question mark. Do I want to maybe use Tyrell Bullitt here and replace Netane Muti because he will start regressing at some point in time? Or do we keep him around? He's just a really serviceable, solid piece on the offensive line. Amarius Mims, getting injured a lot, but he's 25, so that's fantastic. David Presley, 24 and 83. Don't really feel too bad about using him. On the defense, here we could think about doing something with James Houston, maybe trading him on and bringing in a rookie here, but I like the setup, all right? Neil Wilcox is just fantastic. He's my starter. James Houston sitting behind him as sort of just a safe veteran. Right edge is Adisa Isaac. We need a player here. We only have one, so that's something that we need to solve. D-tackle, Jordan Hall, Jarvis Ford. I'll let go of choice, so we could also bring in somebody here. We could bring in, I don't know, we could bring in a veteran player. We could bring in just draft a rookie, whatever. Left outside linebacking situation, we've got Brandon Hartwell here who we drafted 2 years ago. I don't really see him as the future. Glenn Sprinkle's doing exceptionally well. So maybe Brandon Hartwell will be just leaving or will be used elsewhere. I could see myself using Aziz Al-Shaair maybe as a backup for Glenn Sprinkle here. I already said that. Would have a little bit of an older situation there, but I can see that working. I would really like to get more Henry To'oTo'o and certainly Jalen Wilcox and certainly Mitch Burris next season. That should work well. Right outside linebacker, we've got Justin Patton, Jill Peoples, and Marquise DeVoe. I'm not sure if I want to keep everybody, if I need to keep everybody, but this situation here is just really very, very good. So let's just be honest about that one. Again, we could switch, mix and match here. I see a lot of options happening right now. Cornerbacks, Dylan Fletcher, Roger McCreary with a superstar Dave trade. It's 23-28, age is not a problem. Christian Fulton, 29, Caleb Farley, 29, Kelvin Joseph, 28. We're kind of scratching this here a little bit. I feel like we need fresh blood in here, and Kelvin Joseph could be one that just needs to leave. Caleb Farley has been very good all the time. Christian Fulton, same thing. Roger McCreary did make the step to being a very, very good and elite player with a superstar dev trait. These here didn't really make that step, so we might have to do something here. Daniel Gallery is not the answer, but he could be good enough to just stay around for the time being. On free safety, this is absolutely settled. Derrick Knox, Terrible Jess, yes please, and strong safety, Sonny Styles, 25-25. That's perfect, absolutely perfect. Not going to change a thing there. We do have Ty Walker, who was sitting in the strong safety position currently in the practice squad, and again I could see myself using for instance Taylor Colon over here, or just moving Ty Walker over here instead of Terrible Jess, moving Terrible Jess on. Yeah, he's a veteran player, but I have a player that's almost as good, that's younger, that's going to be way cheaper, so why not just stick with him. Kicker, Evan McPherson and Ryan Stonos, we already covered these. They are again getting older and older, but they're not really in situations or positions that regress hard. So, all of that said and done, we're now going to be taking a look at the free agents. There's a big few names in here, right? Tyleik Williams leaves the Jacksonville Jaguars. Shedeur Sanders leaves the Arizona Cardinals. We've got Jahmyr Gibbs here. We've got Torrey Horton, a very nice looking wide receiver. Getting a lot of offers, by the way. Jeffrey Simmons is here. Oh, that's nice, actually. We might even bring him back for a final stint, but his value is going to be super high. Now we're looking at Felix Adedike, Uzoma, Cameron Kinchins, a free safety that we don't need. Marlon Humphrey, Jaelyn Ramsey, Tyler Al-Shaair, James Daniels, Junior Colton. A lot of very, very interesting names in here. Some of which we have played, some of which we haven't played. But yeah, let's look at them by position. We don't need a quarterback, so we're just going to go over this real quick. But there's a name that catches my eye. It's Malik Willis. He has 0 offers. And I feel like, you know, we could just really... We could super lowball him. They kind of let him go after the season. Maybe unsurprising. If he doesn't get snapped up by the, I don't know, by the second or third round, I'm going to go for him. I'm just going to go for it. Running backs. This is one where we do need some buffing, maybe. All right, Jahmyr Gibbs, he's going to be unavailable. Tyler Al-Shaair, all right, 0 offers currently. High interest in the team. Israel Abanikanda, there we go. All right, 25.85 might be interesting as well. Tank Bigsby, Jaquindon Jackson. We've got Brian Robinson Jr., James Cook. We've got Isaiah Spiller, Tyrion Davis-Price, Bryce Ramsey. Interesting. Montreal Johnson, J.K. Dobbins, Elijah Mitchell. A lot of interesting stuff in here. I mean, I could even go crazy and try and get Bijan Robinson on my team once more, right? I mean, I do love the dude. He's a fantastic player. And I mean, yeah, why not? But there are so many easy choices, you know, in terms of the halfbacks. So don't think that I need to do that. Fullback, we've got Justin McGrath here. We've got Zach Pierce. Interesting players, looking good, but we don't need that. Wide receivers, same thing. All right, Torrey Horton here. We've got Donovan Peoples-Jones, Troy Franklin. Some nice names in here, but I do not see the need to go for anybody here. We just really found some very good players to bolster our wide receiving group. The tight ends, same thing. I do see some names that I would find interesting, but again, we are in a very lucky position that we don't really need to bring in anybody here, even if there's probably 1 or 2 interesting names that I just like to bring in for the heck of it. On the offensive line, we don't need anybody. Just showing you some of the names here. But even if you look at the overalls, it's hardly an upgrade, and I feel like we have better players currently on the team. Christian Mahogany here, some drops. Again, I will not be going for anybody unless I really feel like we have to snap this one dude up. And I'm not seeing anybody here. I'm not seeing anybody where I really have the feeling this is the player to really change the face of our team. We have so many good players. On defense, maybe. Let's just take a look here. Because on the edge positions, we would have to get creative a little bit. Bryce Huff, Drummond Jones, Mike Morris, they're all a little bit on the older side. I don't really like that. Iyabi Oki could be an option. What's this? Stanley Roberts. Steve Morton. Yeah, well, I don't see anybody here where I really feel the need to immediately pounce. So let's continue looking. I mean, Tylee Williams, yes, but not for that money. I don't want to overpay here, and to be honest, we have a fantastic D tackle anyway. So let's just continue looking. Mekai Wingo could be an interesting option here, but again, we've got number 1 and number 2 set anyways. On the edge, Jeffrey Simmons could be a fun addition to the team. To be honest, I'm just gonna be super lowballing him, all right, just for the heck of it. Because if we bring him in, I mean, that would just be a laugh, right? That's all there is. It would be an absolute laugh. So I'm just going to be super lowballing him here. He doesn't have any offers anyways. If we were to bring him in, I mean, that would just be kind of returning to your roots, my man, and just having some fun. But nothing more than that. I'm certainly not going to pay anything else that he's asking for here. All that is crazy. His interest level is super high, so that might even lead us to be able to kind of exploit that. All right, 1.2 mil, we're gonna go for that, and we're also gonna be yanking down that bonus quite a bit here, and I'm employing my second hand right now, which is why it's going so quickly. I'm gonna hike it up to 7 years, by the way, to see if he might be interested in that one here, but it's a 1.2 and a 1.2 offer, and nothing more and nothing less. If he bites, all right. If he doesn't, so be it. I don't care at all. All right, so there we go. Don't really see anybody here. Felix Anadiki-Uzoma could be interesting. Brandon Dorius going down here. Leonard Taylor III. Maybe Justin Eboigbe. That could be a decent help. He's 25 and not that old. Shamar Turner is an interesting dude. 26 and 78. I'd rather have someone around the age 25, something like that. On a left outside linebacker, a lot of players that aren't interested, and to be honest, I'm not really interested in any of these either. Lonnie Slade, Joey Weathers, yeah, whatever. Mid linebackers, I don't need anybody here. I'm super happy with what we have. Right outside linebacker, same thing. There's if I wouldn't have anybody, I could see myself going for a few of these, but there's just nobody in here that I really feel like I have to go for. Lonnie Slate, who was that there? It's Patrick Payton. But on edge here, I could think about Justin Eboigbe, right? He's 80, he's 25. This could be a nice bump. This could be a good backup option for the Adisa Isaac situation here. So why not even go for that? He doesn't have any offers. I'm going to be, again, super low balling him here. I'm going to go with a super low offer, 1.5 and 1.5. Don't have to do the hyper clicky stuff that I did with Jeffrey Simmons. We'll see if he accepts. If he doesn't, then again, so be it. I don't care at all. Mid linebackers, nope. Right outside, nope. Cornerbacks, well, maybe. Terrion Arnold, 86 rated. That could actually be a good addition. If I were to just go for picks for next season, I don't really think that we needed a lot of picks anyways. But Terrion Arnold, 0 offers currently, could be a good addition to our room. Bringing him in could certainly be quite a good push in terms of pushing down the age. Keely Ringo also looking nice here, but I'm going to be going for Terrion Arnold. I'm going to be going for 5 years. Let's go with 3 and 3. Just a completely even offer here. We're going to go to targeted. Before we do that, I actually missed out on 2 positions. Cameron Kinchins getting a bazillion offers. Rod Moore getting 0 offers. Again, those are not positions where I need help. Just looking at the players here. All right, I think we're done. Well, let's go to the targeted section and let's just evaluate those offers. Simmons and Eboigbe, yeah, those are the ones that I really lowballed. I did sign Terrion Arnold for a corner, so that's fantastic. But these 2 here, yeah, I'm not holding my breath. I'm not holding my breath. All right. We're going to go out now. I'm just going to be moving through the weeks, and I'm going to meet you at the free agency recap. As you can see, a lot of players have been signed. Just going to show you my signings beforehand, and then we're going to look at the others. We signed 3 players. Terrion Arnold, again, lowballing him a little bit, but 86 overall, 25 of age. Cornerback edition, very happy with this one here. We're looking at Bryce Ramsey, 82 and 24. We did bring him back. He didn't have any other offers. I gave him a 2-year deal. Let's see how he works out. I really like him to be part of the running back team next season. And Justin Eboigbe, 80 and 25 in addition to the right edge group. We'll either use him on the right or on the left. Not quite sure yet, but he's just a good backup to have. 25 and 80, maybe even a good prospect. And certainly a good addition. Now for the players that were signed, just going to be moving through these at a slow pace here so you can take in the teams that signed them. Of course, we didn't get the ones that I absolutely lowballed. That was probably a little bit cheeky by me. But yeah, I got what I deserved. But I said beforehand, I don't care. If we get him, it's going to be fun. If we don't get him, I'm not going to be super sad. A few teams really stacking up again to prep for the coming season. We also didn't get Malik Willis. I'm just going to be moving down until we hit Malik Willis. He was signed, I think, by the Packers, if I remember it correctly. But again, a lot of teams really buffing them, really bringing in interesting players. Yeah, here we go. Malik Willis, signed with the Packers. I would have brought him in as a third string QB. That would have been fun, but I think I'll just go for any other QB there is with a mentor tag to just help us out a little bit with the improvement of Michael Kramer. We're already getting trade offers. We're already having scouting workouts that we can pick. So we're going to be moving to the draft next. I also feel like we will have to make some decisions when it comes to trades and how we want to shape the team in the coming season. And just like that, we are moving 3 players to the Commanders. All right, call me crazy, and I might look at this and say, I shouldn't have done that, but we are moving Antwane Wells Jr., Tyjae Spears, and Ramsey, who we just signed in the free agency, but who cares about that? Nobody's going to talk about that. To the Commanders, we receive a first and third round pick for the 2029 draft, not for this one, but for the next year's draft. Don't feel like we really need that immediately. I completely forgot that we had a 22-year-old 75 rated prospect at running back anyways, who I do want to give a shot to. So first trade done, and maybe some more to come. Next package deal, we are sending Netane, Muti, Kelvin Joseph, I think it's Kelvin Joseph, and Caleb Farley to the Vikings. We are receiving a second rounder and a third rounder for the 2029 draft. Why are we doing this? Well, quite simple. I'd rather have younger players coming from the practice squad than Netane Muti, who's aging anyways. The Vikings needed help at the offensive line and at cornerback, so there we go. They're getting Kelvin Joseph, and Caleb Farley was in the last year of his deal. Right, Fulton still has 3 more years, but Caleb Farley would need a new deal next year anyways, and I wouldn't give it to him, so let's just give him a shot at the Vikings, and we get a second and a third round pick. Final deal will be sending Terrible Jess and 3 picks, 2028, 2028, and 2029. To the Commanders, we are receiving a third round pick. Again, they were looking for a free safety anyways. And they had a lot of cash, so we just made this one happen. I'm happy to just take that 1 pick. We don't really need that many. All right, time for the draft recap. We had 2 first rounders, 1 second, and 2 fourth round picks. I gave the other ones away. Didn't really need them. Look at Mike Parks. Looks like this one here is an interesting choice here with a hidden depth trait. Rookie out of TCU, a right edge player. I'm going to say I'm going to be torn here not to use this dude immediately. But yeah, we're going to see how he fits in. Roster is still not finalized. Chad Carnahan, this is the dude that was kind of touted that we should go for. 23, LSU player, 67 overall, hidden depth trait. Really a little bit strange here, but practice squad for sure. We're looking at Alex Lane, 22 out of Utah, 68 overall, left outside linebacker. Just kind of felt like we could use some linebacking talent here. And then 2 D tackles, one of which is Parker Gatewood, 23, rookie out of Oklahoma, 64. He was pretty high up on the board. And the other one here being Stefan Pittman, 21-year-old rookie out of Michigan, looking a little bit better, 70 rated. So I think he will be able to really slot in pretty quickly. Of course, he's a 65 rated with a base, but he does have the temporary buffs that all the other rookies get as well. Taking a look at the NFL overall, let's just go look at the top 10 here. Armando Blount, 74 overall, left edge, going to the Chargers. Ryan Williams going to the Saints, 81 rated, that's actually not bad. 78, David Sanders, left tackle, going to New England. Elijah Griffin, D tackle, heading to the Eagles, 80 rated. DJ Pickett, free safety, heading to the Packers. Jack Moynihan, Brady, that's Tom Brady's son. 78 rated, that's a fun one, going to the Steelers. George McIntyre, quarterback, going to the Buccaneers. Improviser here, Bryce Underwood, that's a QB as well, going to the Dolphins. Wide receiver Jamie French going to the Bills, and Naeem Offord, cornerback, going to the Colts. That's interesting, 81 as well. Good pick. I'm going to be clicking through these really slowly or really quickly, whichever way you want to look at it. Just pause the button if you're looking for a certain player, want to see where he went, your favorite high school player, whatever. Right now, at the time of recording, all of these dudes are still in high school, so that might be interesting. All right, with that said and done, we are done, and I think we're going to be concluding this episode now, because this is the final episode of the off-season. Next will, of course, be the first episode of free agency. So there we go. For now, I'm going to say thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed today's episode. If you did, do drop a like. Please subscribe. It means a lot to me, as you know. And as always, thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for watching. You're all awesome. Stay awesome. And see you next time.